What's up, humans? Welcome to another episode of Shots from the Winchester Podcast, brought to you by Greencastle Consulting, your nation's premier strategy execution firm. I'm your host, Al Green, and today we're having a really good conversation with the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation, and we're going to be talking to Margot Cinchetta, Director of Philanthropy for the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation. This is going to be great. We're going to have them at VetFest this year.
We will be there.
So that's going to be fun. So let's just jump right in. First of all, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Al, so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and, talk to the community, the veteran community, and really appreciative of Greencastle and you guys giving this opportunity to us.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming in and being a part of VetFest. Tell me just a little bit about the Marine Corps Scholarship
Absolutely.
Foundation. Yeah.
So we've actually been around for over 60 years. We were founded in 1962. Our mission is to honor Marines by educating their children. So for the Marines out there, you'll probably understand this. We really reformed in very simple ways. We had a group of Marines led by Brigadier General Martin Rockmore gathered at a bar, and they happened to learn at that time that there was a Medal of Honor World War II recipient in the room that couldn't afford to send his child to college. And so in true Marine Corps fashion, kind of echoing the ethos of Semper Fidelis, they literally just kind of passed around a hat, and Marines donated, and we like to say that was the first scholarship that was issued, nice. To that, Marine Corps family. So since 1962, we've been honoring Marines by educating their children. Over $200 million in scholarships have been provided since that time. Over $200 million. Wow. So it's incredible. So we support the children of Marines as well as Navy corpsmen and the religious service specialists that serve alongside the Marine Corps unit. Wow. So really excited. We have so much work to do, and we've been able to really impact a huge community of our Marine children. I happen to be one of those children, and we'll share my story in a little bit. But, this school year, that's going to be happening, by the time this airs, it might already be happening, but this upcoming September, we'll actually have our most impactful and our biggest year yet. We will have awarded $11.7 million in scholarships to over 2,800 Marine scholars. So really excited. The Scholarship Foundation is growing. It's opportunities like this that allow us to be able to bring awareness to who we are, and also just continue to tell people about what we do and how they can get involved.
That's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
Getting out of the military myself, I went and I got the GI Bill to go to school.
Sure.
This is something that is such an accessible thing for the family of service members, Marine and Navy.
Yeah, it's a ticket to help support the families. I mean, we hear that oftentimes. I mean, I'm a Marine family myself. There were so many services for the Marines, their spouses, and even their families when they left the military, and got out of the service. But what makes us different is we are providing a service that oftentimes is overlooked.
Yes.
We're also the nation's oldest and largest provider of at-needs scholarships for our Marine families. So our scholarships are really making a significant impact in the lives of these Marines. And, it's very interesting for me kind of looking back as a past scholarship recipient myself. The average family income for our scholarship recipients is about $69,000. I mean, and that's looking at like a family of four trying to afford everyday expenses, right? And then having to struggle with the decision of how am I going to send my child or children. In many cases, like in mine, my sister and I were both attending school for a couple of years there at the same time. So how am I going to afford to send my child or children to college or university or even technical trade school? Because we also provide, scholarships for children that are pursuing that. So it's a really big problem. And I'm sure as someone that served in the military, you're not serving your country for the paycheck, right? So and what you see is happening is, post-secondary education, the cost to go, to college and university and even technical trade schools continues to rise every single year along with inflation and, just the cost of living. And, we know that the paychecks, the salaries of our service members of all branches are not increasing. So, we need to be able to meet that gap. And the Scholarship Foundation has been doing it for over 60 years, and we're going to do it until, the need is never there. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. But we do have a steadfast goal by our 100th anniversary, which will be in 2062, to be able to provide 100% of the Marine scholars in need, which translates, we say, to about 20,000 kids every single year. So by our 100th anniversary, we would like to provide 100% in scholarships to, the entire population that needs us.
That's commendable. That is such a journey right there. And to have that long path of to consider, with that 100th year, that's epic.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, another thing for the audience to know, right? I'm sure there are a lot of Marines out there, Navy corpsmen and such, is the Scholarship Foundation, we have an annual application period. So from January 1st to March 1st, every single year, that's when people, our Marine scholars, our Marine kids, can apply for a scholarship with us. We purposely made the scholarship application very, very simple. The criteria is you need to be the son or daughter of a Marine or a Navy corpsman or religious specialist or a stepson or daughter of. We want to make sure that we're really covering the entire audience. You need to have a 2.0 GPA. And the reason that it's a 2.0 GPA is we understand, especially for our active duty, families, children are traveling, having to move a lot, and, they might only be in one place, for a year or two before they have to move on to the next space. And while our scholars are doing tremendous in colleges and universities, and we'll share some stats about that in a minute, we want to make sure that we're really able to support everyone. So we kind of purposely put it at a 2.0 to make sure that we're really giving access to everyone. And then finally, the only other criteria to receive a scholarship with us is showing a financial need. So as an at-needs scholarship provider, we want to make sure we're having the most impact. So I will say about 90% of the scholars that apply with us and families are the children of enlisted. But certainly officers, those that are, taking a different route, are eligible to apply. And the financial criteria that we use is what the highest enlisted Marine in the Marine Corps, which is the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, what his annual salary is. So it changes every single year. For the kids that receive scholarships, this for next academic year is about $117,000. So if a family's income falls at or below that, they will receive a scholarship from us. Now, there are extenuating circumstances. Certainly, if you have more than one child in school at the same time, there's exceptions. And then we also have separate programs for the children of severely wounded Marines, as well as Gold Star families. And just so the audience knows as well, our scholarships range from $2,500 a year to $10,000 a year. Okay. So you could be looking at anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 plus throughout a typical 4-year career, although we are finding many programs in colleges and universities now are 5 years. So we're also starting to expand to allow for 5-year programs as well. So so it's incredible work, a lot of important work to support the veteran community. If you fit that simple criteria that we talked about, you will get a scholarship from us. We don't deny any eligible family. That's something from day one that the founders said. Anyone that fits that criteria, will get our support. So thanks to incredible generosity of investors, companies, organizations, foundations across the nation, we have been able to never run into a problem where we're not going to be able to pay the scholars, the scholarships that are really honoring their parents' service and sacrifice.
That's a beautiful thing. You know what? Thank you so much to those donors. that are making that happen. This is life-changing for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
We're creating careers for people that never would have had an opportunity to go in these directions to get this type of education without this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's been shown, studies say about someone that has a degree, a college degree, or even a technical degree, because college, technical trade schools are, certainly a suitable avenue for, kind of post secondary education. It's about 74%. They'll make about 74% more in earnings than someone with just a high school education. So it really, really is important. And, the ROI, right? If you're looking for an ROI as a donor or someone that wants to support the Scholarship Foundation, look to someone like myself that received a scholarship. 91% of our scholars are graduating, and they're graduating on time, compared to about 54% nationally, which is, a huge difference. Incredibly, the students are doing incredibly when it comes to GPAs, 3.4, 3.5 GPAs compared to the national, lower national averages. And about 48%, so almost 50% of our students tell us that they're graduating with little to no debt because of our support. And I mean, that's massive, especially if you are coming out of school as a young person. And we don't limit the scholarships to just quote unquote young people, right? Yeah. We have non-traditional students that fit that criteria, and they're applying for scholarships. Maybe they're going to school later in life. So certainly they are eligible to apply. But, making such a tremendous impact, in the lives of, someone that's looking to better themselves and to have that post-secondary education is so important, and that's what the Scholarship Foundation does. And we're proud of it.
Amazing. Yeah, I would say, you should be very proud of that. 60 years. 62. 1962.
Yeah, is when we started.
So, I mean, that's good longevity in a business, and the altruism behind it is just like remarkable. For people. Like, I'm still paying off my student loans. So hearing that you could get through something like this with the help of the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation that's awesome. Yeah. Now, you mentioned that before we got started, your father is a sergeant major.
You're right, retired sergeant major. Yeah. So I can share a little bit about my story with the audience. So I am the proud daughter of Sergeant Major Mario Chinchetta. So my dad was in the Marine Corps for 28 years, and he is an Italian immigrant. So he actually came to the United States at the age of 10. One of 8 children, had a very difficult childhood. Unfortunately, his father passed very early on in his life, and so he was put in an orphanage for several years while my grandmother at the time was trying to figure out how she was going to support all her kids. And so eventually what ended up happening was she married an American, decided that she wanted to come to the United States for a better life. And one by one, she brought her children over from Italy to the United States. My dad finally made it here at the age of 10, and he wanted nothing but to serve his country. And there was no other choice for him than the Marine Corps. So at the ripe old age of 17, back then, you had to get permission to join at 17. Yeah. Right out of high school, literally he graduated and, within days was on the bus headed, to boot camp. And so he served for in the United States Marine Corps for 28 years. And I feel very blessed to be a part of the Marine Corps family. All of my dad's friends are all Marines, and whenever I need anything, they're there for us. So the Scholarship Foundation helped me and my sister tremendously when we were in school. I attended Rutgers University and graduated with highest honors, summa cum laude. And my sister went to Rider University here in New Jersey, and she graduated magna cum laude. She's a teacher. Wow. So she's, so while, my sister and I both didn't join the Marine Corps or the military, we're both leading lives of service. My sister being a teacher and me, working at the Scholarship Foundation and working in philanthropy. Absolutely. And, I absolutely love being a part of the Scholarship Foundation, not only because of my very personal connection, and I can share, just how much of an impact the scholarships made on our lives, but I'm also getting to pay it forward to my fellow Marine kids. I know what it's like to be, a daughter of a Marine, so a child of a Marine. But I also get to honor my dad's service, because the service and the sacrifice that he made for our country is something that I think can often be forgotten. And it's something that, we all need to be proud of and be thankful for veterans like yourselves, veterans like my dad, and just all of those that have served our country.
Well, thank you so much for taking that education and continuing to push it out for services like what you're providing here with Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation. Sure. That's a beautiful thing, obviously. We mentioned also that this is a national brand.
Yes.
It's all over, but we
have local roots.
Let's focus on
absolutely.
Our regional
we need to
aspect here.
For sure. So as many of the Marines probably watching this know, Philadelphia is the birthplace of the Marine Corps, as well as the Navy. But we'll talk about it being the Marine Corps. So it's actually believed, Philadelphia is actually where it's believed that the first recruitment event was started during the American Revolution at Tun Tavern, which there is also a project happening right now to restore Tun Tavern, which is going to be exciting. So next year is actually, in 2025, is the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps. So there's going to be lots of celebrations everywhere, but of course we need to celebrate in Philadelphia as the birthplace. So the Scholarship Foundation has actually been here in Philadelphia making a tremendous impact for the last 50 years. Oh, wow. So we, provide, of course, scholarships, and support our Marine families in the Philadelphia and, throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Yeah. So, last year we provided 84 scholars with scholarships valued at over $300,000. And nice. And this year, the numbers very much reflect the same. So, they're attending, all varieties of different schools, but, like Temple University, Thomas Jefferson University, the University of Valley Forge, Winchester University. So all over Philadelphia community, as well as, the larger, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we're really proud of the work that we do in Pennsylvania. And so how we celebrate that here in Philadelphia is with an annual gala. Yeah. So our gala is going to be celebrating also 50 years next year in 2025. So in addition to the 250 years of the Marine Corps, it'll also be the 50th anniversary of our gala. So save the date out there, April 5th, 2025. We celebrate at the Union League, so right in Philadelphia. Yeah. We have an incredible committee that helps support the event. Certainly, if there are any Marines or any service personnel that would like to come, please let us know. If there's any companies, investors, foundations that want to support, we're always looking for new people to support the event. But our gala is a great way for us to celebrate all that we do within the Philadelphia community, and in this area and in this region. We'll have scholars come out, that are sharing their stories about the impact, and it's truly just an incredible way. And we also will provide and recognize those that have participated and have made significant investments in the organization. So we do something called our Semper Fidelis Award, which we've done for over 50 years. I mean, we've recognized people such as John Glenn. I mean, the astronaut who you probably know, he was recognized at the first Philadelphia Gala. And all different types of folks, kind of within this area. Gordon McGovern, who was president of and CEO of formerly of Campbell Soup, so locally just across the river. Bill McSwain, he was a former U.S. attorney for Eastern Pennsylvania. We've had different types of coaches from the 76ers, from the World Series teams, the Eagles. And since 2008, we've raised over $7 million at the gala. But I think the 50th year is going to just be a really, really special way for us to be able to celebrate all that is all that is Philadelphia, as well as the upcoming birthday for the Marine Corps, which is really really special. 250 years.
What are some of the nuances of the gala? I assume there's some silent auctions, possibly.
Yeah. So I think probably our besides the students, right, and celebrating. I think the biggest draw is having our DMB band, which is the Commandant's own drum and bugle corps, which comes out.
Yeah.
And what we do is, and for certainly I'm sure the Marines out there know about the drum and bugle corps, but we're really blessed to be able to have them. We immerse them within the audience. So many times you might attend a parade, and there are parades happening right now in Washington, D.C. that actually feature them. But we will bring them out and have them literally within the crowd. So you're not only seeing them and they're up close with you, but you're actually like feeling the music. Every time I see them, I do get tears in my eyes. It's just, they are incredible. I mean, and these are Marines that are, but so I would say that is a huge draw of the gala, is having the drum and bugle corps come. We're really lucky that we're able to do that. We also have military guests of honor. So, everything from 4-star generals to former commandants, come and speak to the audience. And that is something, whatever branch of the military you're in, is something that's really respected and really appreciated. So that's something. So those are just some of the things. Of course, good food, opportunities to network, which is really special. And then, for folks that are looking to get involved, there's sponsorship opportunities. It's a black tie event, so everyone does get to get dressed up, and you don't get to get dressed up all that often, right? So it's a nice way to come out for a night. Next year will be on Saturday, August 5th. So we'll make sure that my information is featured on the podcast. So if anyone is interested in attending, I know it's a while now, but it'll be here before we know it, right?
It's good to get it in now as early as possible, so you can start making those plans and put that on the calendar.
Absolutely. So we would love to be able to have anyone from Greencastle, any of the veterans out there, any just supporters of military education, that want to come out and, be able to meet the students firsthand and the families, as well as, just, all the incredible veterans that are in the room for, that night. So the special evening. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. That's amazing. I love that. Speaking of events, you're going to be a part of Vet Fest.
Yes.
And Vet Fest is something we put on. This would be the 3rd annual that we've done for Greencastle.
I was here last year. I had a great experience. So it was my first time here. I live locally. I live in New Jersey. So I'm proud to represent the Scholarship Foundation here in kind of the Philadelphia area. So yes, very much looking forward to Vets Fest. Had a great opportunity to meet a lot of veterans last year, of all branches, and, just really spread awareness about the Scholarship Foundation and the good work that we're doing to support our Marines, Navy, and Navy corpsmen families.
I was going to say, it's obvious why you chose to do Vet Fest this year. And with there being like over 70 vendors this year, which is like triple from what we had from from the first year. That's remarkable, and there's so many people are already lined up to be here. So I'm
glad you guys are fitting me in. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. What's going to end up happening is we're going to have to expand out of our parking lot area.
Hey, that's a good problem to have, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for sure, I think it's a great opportunity for current military members that are currently serving our country, but also veterans to come out and just see all the different organizations that are doing tremendous work, and there are so many opportunities and resources for veterans and their families out there. So I encourage everyone to come out, because it will be a great day. We just need no rain. So fingers crossed on that one.
That's great. Yeah. So how can people find you? And I know you have a lot of donors, but like you're going to get some more donors here. So
thank you.
Let them know how to find you.
Yeah, so there's a variety of different ways for people to get involved with the Scholarship Foundation. Obviously, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so the generosity and the ability for us to provide scholarships is through the generosity of our donors. We like to call our donors investors, because they invest in us. They invest in our organization, so very important. So we'll make sure that the link is available for people, but I think the best way is through our website, mcsf.org, so www.mcsf Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation.org. And there's a variety of different ways for people to get involved. Certainly, there are outright donations that will support, the organization and all that we do. We have many investors that, create scholarships in memory or in honor of someone, whether it's a Marine or any type of service. And, that comes through our name scholars program. We also have those that are really interested in legacy. So we can create endowed scholarships. So those are scholarships that will last forever. They last in perpetuity. So we have several and lots of investors that are looking to kind of have that forever legacy. So, and, there's a variety of different other ways too. So I encourage everyone to check out the website. Certainly coming to different events that we offer is another way for people to be able to support, and really just helping to grow awareness of the Scholarship Foundation and what we do and our work, because there's a lot more work to do. We've identified about 20,000 children of Marines and Navy corpsmen annually. And that's just right now could be eligible for our services. So while we provided $11.7 million for next academic year to about 2,800 Marine kids, the truth of the matter is we actually are kind of just scratching the surface, right? There's actually about 20,000 of students.
There's an encouragement when you're driven to go into an education of something that you're actually driven to do. So seeing those numbers 3.0, 4.0,
yes,
I like to say it's a surprise, but it's honestly it's a drive, right?
Well, I'll tell you too, as a daughter of a sergeant major, the Marine, whether you serve in the Marine Corps or you're a child of a Marine or just a Marine family, you are raised on the values that they teach in the Marine Corps, which are honor, courage, and commitment. So I remember when I received the scholarships from the foundation, I took it seriously. Yeah. It was not a joke. People were investing in me and my education. Yeah. And so, that was that additional, push to say, okay, I need to do better and to do better, and I graduated, like I said, 4.0 GPA, summa cum laude from Rutgers University many, many years ago now. But, the stats and information that we provide really just show it. And the students it really does make an impact. I'll share a funny story, and for those in the Marine Corps will understand. So, when I told my dad, I told my parents that I, was going to be starting to work for the Scholarship Foundation, and like I said, I feel it's very full circle for me. My mom was like, "This is wonderful, so excited for you. You're gonna do great." My father's response was, "You better do a good job." The Marine Corps means everything to him and to our family. And of course, I'm not going to let the sergeant major down. So, it's been, and like I said, it's been an absolute joy. And I think, what we do is really, really important. Yes. And, so like I said, just growing awareness of who we are, as well as, getting and people to support what we do is truly, very important for the organization. And, I'm just proud of everything that we've done. I'm thankful to those that gave all those years ago to support me and my sister's education, and now trying to pay it forward for the future.
Make sure you guys check out their website. Could you give us the website?
Yes, mcsf.org. We'll make sure that we have that at the end. And my contact information, if anyone's looking to get involved, I am the local contact here in the Philadelphia area. There's just a variety of different ways for you to get involved. So if you are, passionate about education, passionate about giving back to deserving service members like Marines, and particularly for those in the Marine Corps, echoing that spirit of Semper Fidelis, feel free to contact me. We'd love to have you part of the MCSF family.
Also, make sure you check out your booth at Vet Fest coming up, and that's in September 14th of this year. But we do Vet Fest every year. Typically, it's in September. It's a nicer time of year.
It's great. It's usually not too hot.
Yeah. So, Ben, make sure you check out the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation. And make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel, because we're always putting out good information like this. So on behalf of Greencastle, your nation's premier strategy execution firm, I'm your host, Al Green. And we're talking to Margot Cinchetta.
You got it. You remembered it too. Yes. And I would just like to end by saying thank you to all that have served and our country. We owe a debt of gratitude to you all as a Marine family. I just wanted to say thank you. So, and to those out there, Semper Fidelis, and thank you again for your service.
That's beautiful. And we'll see you in the next episode.